And welcome, everybody. This is Ray Hanania on Politics, my podcast, Thursday, May 7th, 2026. My guest is Frank Calabrese, a former aide to Board of Review District 2 Commissioner Samantha Steele, who about 18 months ago got into a head-on crash on the north side of Chicago on November 10, 2024. Police went to the scene, confronted a driver and Steele, and she appeared intoxicated, according to the police report. They also reported a half-empty bottle of booze, and she refused to take a field sobriety test. Kept telling the police, "I'm an elected official." Steele this past week was found not guilty in a bench trial, not a jury trial, but a bench trial before Cook County Judge Donald Suriano. This sounds so whacked out, Frank. This is really weird. Listen, before we get in there, tell the audience a little bit about who you are. You are not part of the famous
Oh,
Calabrese family. Let's make sure they understand that, okay?
yes. My
So,
dad is a pretty nerdy engineer. He's not a made man or a member of the mafia. If
and not
anyone
even
does,
related, and not even related to
no,
the
no,
family,
not even.
right?
I recently did some genealogy. Yeah, Calabria is a region in Italy. It's the southernmost part of Italy that's not Sicily. And yeah, so it's actually like a fairly common name in Italy because it's like a region. It means you're from this region in Italy. So
Like Smith. Yeah, right. It's
right,
like
right.
you're from that region.
Mhm.
So, you just explain a little bit too, because apparently you worked with Samantha Steele when she was the on the Board of Review District 2 commissioner.
Right. It actually, like this was I was involved in a fairly large and public lawsuit. So Samantha, we do property tax appeals.
Right,
And she wanted it's long and complex. I don't want to get into it too long because you want to talk about the DUI, but it was involving the Chicago Bears property taxes in Arlington Heights. And she wanted to, you know, basically do all these unethical things. And she asked me to do it, and I said no. And then she did it herself. And then there was an investigation by the inspector general. I had to cooperate. Then she fired me, and which you can't do. So I
because you were
sued.
cooperating.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah,
the Bears complained, like literally the Chicago Bears filed via their attorney filed a complaint with the Board of Ethics and the Inspector General. Samantha Steele was fined the maximum amount. I mean, you guys can Google this. This is, it's on
right,
Tribune, Wikipedia. This is everywhere. And I got a $200,000 settlement. And in the middle of my lawsuit, when you get a settlement from Cook County, it has to get approved by the Cook County Board. Obviously,
right,
it's
right.
public, and the chairman of the board of for the litigation subcommittee is Scott Britton. And then I'm reading in the newspaper that
Is her
Scott,
attorney?
right,
She
is that
cited
Scott
him as
Britton,
her attorney.
right, that
Oh
Scott
my
Britton
God!
is on the side of the road with Samantha Steele when she's arrested during a DUI. And literally, like, it's my litigation's like in front of his committee for approval. And I'm like, what's happening? So I file a freedom of information request for the video. And then, so I get this before the media or anyone. So I just kind of put it out there on the internet and
Right,
it gets big. It becomes not just local news, it becomes international news. The New York Post did two stories on it. They have these kind of tabloid news in London, like the Independent and the Guardian did
yeah,
news. So yeah, so it kind of became like uh, a minor international story because it was just so outrageous. Because
right.
Samantha, just to get into a little bit, she it was all captured on camera. She said she was an elected official. She didn't have to comply. She was insulting the police. She was mean to the
Right.
police.
She
She
said
said
that she
that,
said the one cop didn't have a penis or something, or had a small dick
yeah,
or
and it
something.
just
And it's
wasn't
like,
any
what?
cop. It, it,
She's an
it,
elected official talking
It
to
was a Chinese
police.
cop too, so there's kind
Oh
of
my
like a
God.
race angle to it. You know
Ay,
what I mean?
jeez.
So,
They A lot of this stuff doesn't get captured by the trial. They talk
correct.
about some of it, but what people read about they said she insulted the police officers. I listened to the video, and I was going to read the police report too, and we could even play this video. It's like there's a 90-second segment, and she sounds like there's something wrong, and
Yeah.
she sounds arrogant. And I'm thinking, this is somebody that I used to like years ago. I thought, oh, maybe she's going to change the board of tax reviews. Now I'm thinking, this is exactly the kind of person we should not have in office. They don't want to stand up and be responsible. She got
Right.
stopped by police. They asked her to take a sobriety test. She said no. And when you listen to her on the video, it sounds like there's something wrong with her. It's not just like a normal person. She's like sticking her hand out. Hey, I'm Samantha. Oh, and I'm an elected official. I'm going. There's something wacky here, and I think the police had enough to arrest her.
Oh
Now they
yeah.
wait eight. They wait 18 months. They go before a judge, not a jury. I think she would have been convicted by the jury. They go
Mhm.
before a bench trial. Suriano is the judge, and he, after 2 days, finds her not guilty. And it really kind of bothers me. I got to be honest with you. It's just wrong. There's something wrong with this case.
Right. So I went to it, the trial, to
Was she
check it
happy to
out.
see
Yeah.
you? Was she happy to see you in
Oh,
the
so
audience?
I didn't look at her, but there was
Oh
a
my
member of the
God.
media that said that she kind of gave a big grimace,
Right.
and well, this isn't the radio, so I guess I don't know if I can swear in this, but there was
You could
one of
swear.
one of her aides called me a piece of shit.
What a
So
jerk. I mean,
I
right. I
know.
mean, that's like, there's when people go to that length
Hmm.
to respond to something like this, there's something wrong,
Right.
right? Otherwise, if I were not drinking, I would take the sobriety test. Why not do that? You're in a major accident where I don't know, I don't remember if people were hurt in the accident. The woman in the other car was
No,
out on the sidewalk.
she got in an accident with parked cars. There was
Oh, was
oh
that what it
yeah.
was? Oh, yeah.
She got in an
Oh, yeah.
accident with
Yeah. You know how those
just
parked cars can be really dangerous, when you're sober. Yeah,
she
that's
got in an
that.
accident with a bunch of parked cars on the side of Ashland Avenue. So
Do you think the story was played politically, or do you think, I mean, how much do you think this is really a political story, as
well,
opposed to a regular legal case involving whether somebody did something right or wrong? Because it sounds really political here. There's a lot
s-
of politics.
I mean, how can all right. So obviously yeah, there's a lot of politics. So the first thing that happens is when she gets pulled over, she calls a Cook County commissioner. All right.
Right,
And this Cook County commissioner is not a DUI attorney. He's an insurance defense attorney. He doesn't, you know what I mean? So
right,
he does not do DUI. He's not a criminal attorney. She's trying to like play the clout, angle here. You know what I
right.
mean? Like it's like the
That's what it sounded
1970s
like
or
to me.
something. Right.
Yeah, that's what it
You
sounded
know,
like to me.
so on two different occasions, the two different police officers on the video, she says, do you know who I am? I'm an elected official. Literally, I'm not like
Like,
paraphrasing this. This is literally what she's
look,
saying. Like, back off. And so,
Frank, I
and then,
covered politics for 50
Mhm.
years. And if I had stopped her someplace and she said, "Do you know who I am?" I'd look at her and say, "Actually, no. What's the board? I wouldn't even know anybody on the board of review. I've seen their names. I would never know them in person." Go ahead.
Right, right. So the border review is normally kind of a pretty anonymous agency, right? Because
Yes. Oh, yeah.
now, for one, it only deals with property taxes, right? And not everyone's a homeowner, right?
Right. Right.
Or people that are, or people live in households, right? You know what I mean? So if
Right.
five people live in a household, not everyone's paying the taxes. So just not a lot of people interact with them, right? Like a mayor or an alderman or or someone more public like a state rep or something. So it's a very anonymous position. So you have to get a DUI really to make the news. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
that's really ironic with in her case. The police and the prosecutors allege she was drunk when she crashed into the two cars on Ashland Avenue. She, according to them, she clearly showed impaired judgment. They called witnesses who said they smelled alcohol on her breath, that Steele's eyes were glassy or bloodshot, and that she had slurred speech. And when you listen to the video, it does sound slurred. I mean, it doesn't sound like this is not somebody they're going to go after to cause a problem for her. They're not. This is not rigged. They're not setting it up to get her. They're just trying to investigate a DUI. And what bothers me about her case is it makes DUI cases seem like they're not important, but they're some of the worst cases that we have to deal with in life. These DUI cases get terrible when they happen, and a lot of people get injured. So for her attitude as an elected official is what bothers me more than anything. If she admitted, yes, I'm sorry, I was drinking, I might have said, oh, wow, what a courageous elected official to admit that. And maybe she wouldn't have gotten thrown out of office in the March 17th election because she lost big time,
Yeah, she
far
lost
bigger
two to
than she
one.
won with. Yes,
Right.
it was a
So
landslide loss.
right, it was she lost every ward and every township. It was a big loss, and again, it was like her attitude. Now, Ray, even covering politics than longer than I've been alive, that there have been politicians that've been arrested for DUI, but I don't think there's been politicians that like have treated the police like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
But in other words, she said, not only did she say, I'm an elected official, she starts being sexually derogatory to the police
right,
officers.
right.
Yeah, that was really kind of that's something that you might hear from somebody at a bar that you
Mhm.
bump into, and we start calling each other names, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
so it fit the pattern of my judgment about this whole case.
yeah, it's just again like my big issue was just how she was treating these police officers, how she was throwing her office around, how she was calling, other elected officials to the scene. Again, like I have a cousin that got a DUI when he was young, you know what I mean? Like it's things happen, but like when you try to use your public position to try to manipulate the judicial system. So,
Yeah, and again, this is not something that she should not have had the right to say no.
mhm,
She's an elected official. She's at a higher level of responsibility than you and I are at.
right.
And like I said, if I had been drinking and I had been stopped, I'm not a drinker, but had I been stopped, I probably would have admitted it, yes, knowing that, it's worse unless you think you can get out of it or you have clout or I'm an elected official. I, I don't think that if she told anybody I'm with the board of review, they'd know exactly. What are you, mayor? You're an alderman, state senator. What then? Oh, board of review. What the
Yeah,
hell is
I
that?
don't
Is
think your
that even
average,
elected official?
right. Illinois has was 102 counties, I believe,
Yes.
and in
Yes.
101 of them, board review members are appointed. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So, only in Cook County they're elected. It's kind of a quirk of the law here. It's a very anonymous position throughout the state.
Yeah. And you're kind of like a political consultant now, correct?
Mhm. Yeah,
And
I kind of do politics here and there. So,
so and then so this case, I turn on the TV today and I see you on there. I go, oh, how did he get on there? So they get mad at you because you released the video.
right,
Was
yeah.
that
So,
what happened?
so,
Tell us about that.
so, like I said, I was very concerned why this, I had this lawsuit against Samantha Steele, and it was in front of the litigation committee. And then the litigation chair is all of a sudden, her DUI attorney, right? Which is a huge conflict, right? I mean, again,
Right.
you've been covering
Absolutely.
government and again, he's not disclosing this, right?
Right.
And I feel like this is like some sort of movie or something. It's just kind of ridiculous. And so, I file a FOIA request immediately, and I'm kind of my selfish personal interest here is why is Scott Britton, Commissioner Britton, have this conflict? And then, the video comes out, and then she just acts ridiculous, to these police officers, right?
Well,
Um, and so I just kind of put it out there and just kind of went viral. So,
and she
and
doesn't like it because when you watch it, it's horrible.
Right. Now, I obviously I didn't, I didn't edit the video. I just uploaded the
Right.
the entire, what was released to me by the Chicago Police Department. So that's what I put out there. The video just this just captured her conduct. So
Right. Do you do you think that she has any plans to run for office again, or she's pretty much done? Wouldn't you think? Even winning this case,
I I
um,
I think she'll run again, knowing
uh,
her. I
like,
think she will. I think
yeah,
she will.
I don't think it would be good. Let me see if I can. Tell me if you can hear this video, because I want to play it. Because when people listen to it, that I did they play that? You were in court, you said, right? Did they play this in court?
Yes. So
And
they played the videos the first day in court. It was a 2-day
so,
trial.
so the judge is listening to this,
Correct.
a politically elected judge.
No, that's a whole nother story. This was a retired recall judge.
Oh, he wasn't even one of the. He doesn't have to worry about getting retention. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
he was a
mad at him. I am mad at him. And
right.
now, I was going to look him up, and you're telling me that I can't vote against him. That's
Correct.
really upsetting. And I bet he's getting a fat pension check too. Let's see if I can play this video, and if you can hear it. Tell me if you hear it. Hang on. Can you hear that?
I can't hear it.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Hang on one second. Let me try this. Put it on my computer speaker.
Mhm.
Okay, whoever's it is.
I can hear it now.
She said she knows you. She said you texted her.
She's my friend.
Okay, so exit the vehicle.
No, I'm not leaving the vehicle.
Ma'am, if you don't exit the vehicle, you don't exit the vehicle. I'm gonna help you to exit. And you don't want that.
You don't want that.
I
I'm an
do.
elected
I
official.
actually do. Elected official of what?
Cook County.
Look on, you elected which office? What's your name?
I'm Sam.
Sam who?
She sticks out her hand.
Okay, so it's okay, person. Tell her to walk out, step out. Oh, she's saying she's an elected official of Cook County.
I'm
Okay.
on the video.
Oh, you are on video. You are on video. You are on video, man. Video. Yes, ma'am. So you need
I'm
to.
waiting for my attorney.
Okay.
No, I'm waiting for my attorney.
I don't know. It sounds like a clown show.
Right. And again, her
Okay.
attorney, Cook County Commissioner Scott Britton, and my major concern was, why is my lawsuit was in front of him. My lawsuit had to be
Right.
approved by him. And again, I don't want to, this is not about my
No, I
lawsuit.
understand,
They were
but
kind of
still,
jamming up, the terms of it and stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it just seems wrong, that conflict. I bet you didn't even know it was there,
Right.
right? Until this
I
happened.
learned about this when I read it in the Sun Times, and I was Dan Miliopoulos wrote about it. And because I work in politics, I know Dan. I called him. I was like, "Are you sure? Like, how do you know this?" It's like, "It's in the police report." It's like, "What?" So,
Wow. And just tell it, who else was in the car with her? Was she by herself? What was the story with? There was a
so the
little
car
confusion
accident,
about the
it
news
was
reports.
she was driving her friend's car. She was alone, and she hit two parked cars on Ashland Avenue. So it was her versus nobody. And she totaled her car. So her car was a total loss.
Wow.
And it's in a junkyard. I got a photo of it because it was auctioned off actually. So yeah.
You got to be going pretty quick to total your car on
Mhm.
two parked cars who are on the side of the road.
Correct. Yeah.
And you have to hit them like it, and it was she making a not failed to make a turn and slammed into the cars, or was
It
she
was
driving by them when she hit the cars?
it was not an intersection. It was just a straight
Driving by them.
Yeah, it was Ashland Avenue, which it's a
Right,
city street, so
right,
it's not curvy. It's just north and south.
right.
No tricks or anything. You have to drive straight, Ray. And if you don't drive straight, you're gonna hit something. So, um,
Yeah, this is really one unusual story. Anything else, Frank? Where can people get information on you? How do they get a hold of you if they wanted to follow
yeah,
up, find out
I
what
have a
you're
big
doing?
Twitter following and stuff. And people can
Good.
find me online. I have a Twitter. For this particular thing, like I had so much video and like all the police reports. I made a website and just put it all up there. I made SamanthaSteele DUI.com because I just wanted one resource because she was running for re-election. I didn't want her to win.
Right.
So if anyone's really curious about the videos and the police report and my notes from the trial and stuff, I put it all in one place, SamanthaSteeleDUI.com. So
Yeah, I found that and it was really interesting. There's a lot on there.
yeah,
Suriano's lucky that he's not running for re-election because, as a political reporter, I'm always looking for an axe to grind against politicians and elected officials who don't deserve to be in office.
right.
And he definitely doesn't deserve to be on the bench. I've known the guy years ago.
Oh, you did.
I didn't know his status, but really, I think that this could make a case for a good argument that seriously, if you're involved in a suspected DUI, you should be required to take that field sobriety test right away if you're an
Right,
elected official. And
right.
if you don't take it, there should be for an elected official, you should be removed from office. But for somebody like you and me, if I don't take the test, there should be some consequence for that.
Yeah, there
Because,
is already. There is. So if you do not take, all right, so if you're pulled over by the police
right.
and they ask you to take a field sobriety test and you say no, you lose your license for a year. That's the law in Illinois. So
What
there already
happened?
is a
What
consequence.
happened to her? Did she lose her
So
license?
so this way, she lost her license for a period of time. But all right. So the Chicago police, as you know, Ray, they have to deal with serious time.
Yes, they
With
do.
serious crime.
Yeah, they
Now,
do.
Ray, I think you live in the suburbs, right? It's a
Yeah, I do.
little nicer where you
I
are,
had
a
to
little
escape
quieter.
Chicago where I lived for like, I don't know, 20, 30 years.
So it's a little quieter. You might have to worry about shootings and stuff all the time. And so Chicago police are not, as trained in
Right,
DUI
right,
as like suburban police, right?
right.
And so she went to court to ask to get her license back, and they had a hearing, and the judge found that the cop made like a paperwork error, and she was able to get her license back.
Because of a paperwork error. Wow.
Right.
Was it the same judge?
No, it was a different judge.
Oh my God. Do you know
It's
his
in the
name? You
county.
got to tell me because
It
if he
was
probably,
Judge I believe it was Judge Athena. It was a
I'm gonna
Greek judge.
I'm gonna look
It's all
that
these
judge up.
Greeks.
I'm gonna look that judge up now because
Yeah.
I'm on a mission. This should not happen. And I
Right.
appreciate you getting involved. And at great consequence because political people do have clout, they have friends, for whatever reason, they go after everybody. They don't believe in free speech when it involves them. They only believe in free
Oh,
speech when it involves them speaking about stuff
right. Yeah.
not against them.
Right, yeah. So she was on ABC and she said that I'm a little so ABC they edited out, 90% what she said about me because it was just wrong and like
Right.
ridiculous. She said I was some big scary guy because,
Right.
I was exposing this, but do I have an agenda? Yes, I don't like her. I don't think she should be in office.
And that's fair.
Um, right. And but like everything that I put out there, it's just
Legal.
the facts, right? I
Right.
put out the video, I put out the police
You made
report,
it sound like you were a bad guy
right. And
because you
then
did that.
right. And then people can make their own decisions, right? You can watch the video, you can read the police report. I didn't edit the video, I didn't, I didn't say the words that she said. I didn't do the actions she did. And she's just refusing to take responsibility for her actions, so she's blaming me. I have nothing to apologize for, and
You don't.
I don't know. I'm actually just kind of, obviously I'm not happy with the verdict, but I'm happy that, I brought this to light
Yes.
because,
You did a
um,
public service, Frank.
right.
Honestly, you did.
So,
And this website for anybody listening or watching this podcast is Samantha Steele, SteeleDUI.com. Samantha Steele, DUI.com. I recommend that everybody go there to find out what the real truth is about this. And, a lot of times our court system doesn't get it right. In my opinion, they didn't get it right this time. I think that's just a terrible injustice. Frank Calabrese, thank you so much for joining us and reliving this horror, this controversy. And we look forward to talking to you again, buddy. All right.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this, Ray. This was a lot of fun.
All right. And all you listeners out there, remember, I do a podcast with Bill Lipinski once a week called Two Guys on Politics at twoguysonpolitics.com. So check that out every week. We talk about national and international politics. Have a great day, everybody. I'm Ray Hanania, and my guest again, Frank Calabrese, not the famous Calabrese. I got to say that, okay? Because I think if they throw your name out a lot, people will get kind of scared.
Right.
I don't know. So, but Frank Calabrese, what a good guy you are. All right, buddy.
I don't mind people being a little scared though, right? So you
Okay.
can spread the rumor just a little bit, all right?
All right. We'll talk to you. Thanks, buddy.
All right,
All
take
right.
care.
Hang on.